What's up, everybody? Welcome to another MTG 420 deck tech where we're teching out these decks. We got all these commanders here lined up to do in future videos, and we got a whale hanging out. And today we're reviewing Krenko Mob Boss in this deck tech review. And the ability of this legendary creature is tap. Put X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens onto the battlefield, where X is the number of goblins you control. It's a 3/3, costs 2 red, and it's a really awesome Goblin Warrior. Lots of great combos in this deck, and really powerful and adversary right there, foe. Tell us a little bit more about this deck, deck creator. Do you want to join in? Anyways, here's a next card in the deck is the Rings of Bright Hearth artifact. Whenever you play an activated ability, if it isn't a mana ability, you may pay 2. If you do copy that ability, you may choose new targets for the copy. This combos off with the Krenko Mob Boss ability, and it is an awesome way to get infinite goblins onto your battlefield, or as we like to call it, 420 goblins onto the battlefield. Boom. Fury Stoked Giant, 3 red, creature Giant Warrior. When Fury Stoked Giant comes into play, other creatures you control gain tap. This creature deals 2 damage to target creature or player until the turn. So you got your whole army of goblins out. You got 420 goblins out, and they all decide that they can tap and do 2 damage to a creature or player until end of turn. That's amazing. With the Persist, it comes back again after coming out one more time with the second enter the battlefield ability. We got Hellrider, 2 red, creature devil, haste. Whenever a creature you control attacks, Hellrider deals 1 damage to a defending player. And that's really good when you have another like 420 goblins on the battlefield again. Just have your whole army, and they activate with this devil to do all that damage. Soul Ring, your commander deck's gotta have Soul Ring in there. Absolutely. For 1 mana, you can add 2 colorless to your mana pool. Well, bam. Goblin War Driver, red, creature Goblin Warrior. Battle Cry. All your goblins get stronger when they attack, and this creature attacks. It's an essential goblin. The more goblins you have out there, the more goblins you can create with Krenko. Red spells you cast cost 1 less to cast with this awesome artifact, Ruby Medallion. Essential. Battle Squadron, 3 red, flying. Battle Squadron's power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control. Think of having 420 goblins out there, and you got a 421 goblin flying battle squadron. Amazing card. I give this a 420 out of 420 in this deck tech review. Savage Beating, 3 red, instant. Look at those red instants. Those nasty red instants always coming out, ruining everyone's day. Only during your turn and only during combat? What kind of instant is this? Choose 1. Creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn, or untap all creatures you control, and after this phase there's an additional combat phase. So you just go out there and tap Krenko up again, get all your haste goblins out. Because most of the time your goblins all have haste anyway. What the heck? What's Entwine? I don't even know. Battle Hymn, 1 red instant. Add red to your mana pool for each creature you control. Your goblin army is out there, and you just get a whole bunch of goblin army mana. Battle Hymn. Here's a goblin. Goblin Lackey, red. When Goblin Lackey successfully deals combat damage to a player, you may choose a goblin card in your hand and put that goblin into play. So you got those big goblins out there with huge enter the battle abilities, and you've got this 1/1 that just comes in and attacks. Sneak attack sometime. I bet you have unblockable in here too. Discharge, red. Target creature you control gets 2/2/+0 until end of turn. With Overload, 2 red. Turns the target creature into each. So each creature you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn. That's an amazing attack from 420 goblins. Lightning Greaves, got to have that Lightning Greaves to give haste and shroud to Krenko. Krenko gets haste and shroud. Seize the Day, red, and a 3 of any color. Untap target creature. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase, followed by an additional main phase. What? Untap Krenko, everyone gets haste? That's incredible. Goblin Bushwhacker, red. Kicker, red. You may pay an additional red as you cast a spell. When Goblin Bushwhacker enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn. Everyone's getting haste in red all the time, and this goblin helps out. Goblin Sledder for red. These 1-drop goblins. You just have to start out your hand, and you just get your whole hand out by turn 3 in these red decks. You know, Goblin Sledder. Sacrifice a goblin. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. You just sacrifice 420 goblins, and this guy gets +420, +420. It's madness. Skirk Prospector. Red. Sacrifice a goblin. Add red to your mana pool. So he's getting red mana for days on this one. Because you got so many goblins. You know, just a reminder, Krenko, every turn, every time Krenko taps, you put X goblins on the battlefield, or X is the amount of goblins you already control. Just doubles your goblins. He's a goblin. Fire Diamond 2. Fire Diamond enters the battlefield tapped. Add red to your mana pool. Got a ramp. You gotta ramp up to some of those bigger red cards in this deck. Because this deck's got its 1-drops. It's got its 7-drops. It's got its 11-drops. I don't know if it does. All your goblins attack. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a red goblin creature token with haste onto the battlefield. And it gets +1/+0 until the turn for each other attacking goblin. This is a beast. But everyone's attacking every turn. It's a balance card. No, it's overpowered. Mogwar Marshal. 1 red. Creature Goblin Warrior. Echo. If this came under your control since the beginning of your last upkeep, sacrifice it unless you pay its echo cost. That's pretty good. It's Goblin Warrior. When it enters the battlefield or dies, put a 1/1 red goblin creature token onto the battlefield. So you're just creating goblin after goblin after goblin. 2-for-1 goblin abilities. Haste. Other goblins you control get +1/+1 and have haste. Everyone's got haste again. Just giving everyone haste. Everyone's tapping when they enter. Tuk Tuk the Explorer. 2 red. That's a goblin. Haste. When Tuk Tuk the Explorer dies, put a legendary 5/5 colorless goblin golem artifact creature named Tuk Tuk the return onto the battlefield. Did the Tuk Tuk token? Wow, we got Tuk Tuk tokens out here. Puppet Strings. 3. 2. Tap. You may untap or untap target creature. So this is combos with the Rings of Bright Hearth to get infinite goblins. I think. I don't know. You get infinite mana, infinite red mana, infinite goblins, all these combos where you sacrifice goblins to get mana, to untap, to get more goblins, to get mana, to untap, and to sacrifice goblins. What do you do, Arms Dealer? 2 red, sacrifice a goblin. Arms Dealer deals 4 damage to target creature. You just clear a whole board with your infinite goblins with this. Infinite goblins, infinite mana, now infinite board clear. Red. Red is just shooting out fireballs all over the place. Not Maw Catcher. 2 red, Mercenary. 3 taps, search your library for a goblin card. Put that card into play, then shuffle your library. If it's 3 mana, you're getting a goblin every turn. Increasing the amount of goblins you control, increasing those goblin abilities. Lightning Bolt. Good old Lightning Bolt for just that spot removal. Just 3 damage whenever you need it. Finishing Blow, 3 damage, whatever you need it. Look at this human wizard hanging out with the goblins. 2 red, 1 red tap. Sacrifice Magus of the Wheel. Each player discards his or her hand, then draws 7 cards. Adding some chaos to this. Adding some chaos to this series. Bright Stone Ritual. Red. Instant. Add red to your mana pool for each goblin play. So you're just getting super mana again. This red mana increase is off the hook in this deck. Tears of Rage. 2 red. Only during the declare attacker step. Attacking creatures you control get +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Sacrifice those creatures at the end of turn. Well, if you won the game, it doesn't matter. Just go all out attack. Skull Clamp. 1. If equipped creature gets +1, -1. And you just keep attaching this to little 1/1s and killing them. And if equipped creature dies, draw 2 cards, equip 1. So you're just killing all those infinite goblins with those infinite mana. Drawing infinite cards, just drawing everything. Dang goblins! These Krenko goblins are just everywhere. Urza's Incubator. 3. As Urza's Incubator enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, goblin. Creature spells of the chosen type cost 2 less to cast. That's a crazy card. All the goblin cards cost 2 less to cast. How do you do that? That's so off the hook goblin synergy right there. This deck is through the roof. Goblin Urgin. It's a 1-drop. Goblin. You can pay 0 to sacrifice a goblin to regenerate a target creature. Just keep Krenko alive every time they try to destroy Krenko. Every time they try to wipe the board, you just regenerate the goblins you want. Illusionist Bracers. 2. Artifact Equipment. Whenever an ability of equipped creature is activated and it isn't a mana ability, copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. What? That's amazing. Fanatic Firebrand. Red. Haste. Tap. Deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Just a good old 1-drop goblin. Just empty your hand, get all those goblins going so you can get maximum goblin numbers to get maximum Krenko abilities off. To maximum efficiency. Good old Buried Ruin. Tap, add 1 mana, 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. 2 tap, sacrifice Buried Ruin. Return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Return those brings a Bright Hearth after they get destroyed by Zakama. Descent of the Dragons. 4 red, sorcery. Destroy any number of target creatures for each creature destroyed this way. This controller puts a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Damn you, Dragons of Tarkir, just replacing all your goblins with dragons? What an insane card. You got 420 goblins out there, and then now you have 420 4/4 flying dragons. Krenko off the hook. Swiftfoot Boots. 2. Artifact Equipment. The equipped creature has hexproof and haste. Giving haste to everyone again. And hexproof, so you can protect yourself from all that damage. Perforos, God of the Forge. That's if you're Krenko, of course. 3 red. Good old legendary enchantment creature, God. Indestructible. As long as your devotion to red is less than 5, Perforos is not a creature. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Perforos deals 2 damage to each opponent. You got Perforos there, you got 5 opponents, and then each goblin entering now just does 2 damage to each opponent. Damn, that's a word and a half right there in Magic. You want to do things that do stuff to each opponent when you're playing Commander. It's a key indicator that card should be in your deck. Siege Gang Commander. This turns all your goblins into little catapults. You see in the art right there in the background. When Siege Gang Commander enters the battlefield, create 3 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. 1 red, sacrifice the goblins. Siege Gang Commander deals 2 damage to any target. So you're already getting infinite mana. Now you got infinite damage with your goblins. Siege Gang Commander, and you got stuff making your Siege Gang Commander cheaper, so you can put it out there the turn right after you play Krenko. No matter what, need those mountains. The most important land in the deck. Conspicuous Snoop is here from M21. Conspicuous Snoop is pressing right up against the glass. Like, let me in. Let me into the game. Let me play Commander. And Conspicuous Snoop is here. Red. Creature Goblin Rogue. Players with the top card of your library revealed. You may cast Goblin spells from the top of your library, so all your Snoopy Goblins are looking in from your top of your decks, being like, let me in. Let me into the game. As long as the top card of your library is a Goblin card, Conspicuous Snoop has the all activated abilities of that card. Siege Gang Commander's on the top. Conspicuous Snoop is just looking in like, I'm a Siege Gang Commander now. I'm going to do the Siege Gang Commander ability. Flippin' Conspicuous Snoop, eh? Goblin Pile Driver. 1 red. Creature, Goblin Warrior. Protection from blue. This creature can't be blocked, targeted, dealt damage, or enchanted by anything blue. Whenever Goblin Pile Driver attacks, it gets +2/+0 until a turn for each other attacking goblin. So you got 420 goblins attacking. That's 840 plus attack to your Goblin Pile Driver. That's crazy, Magic Origins. What a crazy set. Chaos Warp, 2 red, instant. Instant speed. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into his or her library, then reveals the top card of his or her library. If it's a permanent card, he or she puts it onto the battlefield. So that saves your creature from being destroyed and swoops it out with something else. What a Chaos Warp. Goblin Fireslinger, red, a little 1-drop goblin again, and you can tap it to deal 1 damage to target player. It's just steady damage throughout the game. Also triggers all those damage triggers if you need them, or helps everyone out take damage. Really good card, really versatile, 1-drop. Would cast again. Goblin Welder, red. Here's another one. Goblin Artificer, little rare guy. What is he up to? Tap, choose target artifacts a player controls and target artifact card in that player's graveyard. If both targets are still legal, as this ability resolves, that player simultaneously sacrifices the artifact and returns the artifact card to the battlefield. It's a little swappity-doo there with the artifacts in the graveyard and the artifacts on the field. Wow. Goblin Bombardment, 1 red. Sacrifice a creature. Sacrifice your goblin. Goblin bombardment deals 1 damage to target creature player, so you just load up all your goblins. 420 goblins get loaded up into your goblin bombardment, and the only cost is sacrifice a creature. Like, does it get any better than that in a goblin deck? No, it don't. Mog Fanatic, red. Sacrifice Mog Fanatic. Mog Fanatic deals 5 damage, 1 damage to target creature or player. Got blurry there. I thought it said 5. Wow. 1 is still good. It's just a 1/1. You gotta get those goblins out there, especially when someone wipes the board. You gotta build up that goblin army again, and you got your conspicuous snoop out there, and all you're hitting is 1-drops off the top. Then you're casting those 1-drops off the top. Bogart Shenanigans, 2 red. Tribal Enchantment Goblin. This is a little goblin spell enchantment. Whenever another goblin you control is put into the graveyard from play, you may have Bogart Shenanigans deal 1 damage to target player. What? So all your sacrificed goblins go to the graveyard, and this is dealing an additional 1 damage for each of them that get sacrificed. And goblins love getting sacrificed. You know that. Legion Loyalist, red. Haste. You get more haste. Battalion. Whenever Legion Loyalists and at least 2 other creatures attack, creatures you control gain first strike and trample until the turn and can't be blocked by creatures and tokens abilities this turn. It's ridiculous. Foundry Street Citizen Denizen. Whenever creature Goblin Warrior. Whenever another red creature enters the battlefield under you control, Foundry Street Denizen gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Foundry Street Denizen. A 1-drop again. Next time on MTG 420, Azusa. We're going to have some Azusa action out here. There's a little sneak preview of the next video. It was sponsored by MTG 420. Right now, we're self-sponsoring this video to promote our growing channel. So grow the channel. MTG 420 gets grown. It's like all these goblins working together. We'll all work together to get MTG 420 on the top of the 420 boards. Goblin Rally. Red, and 3 of any color. Put 4/1/1 red goblin creature tokens onto the battlefield. So you got your creature. It's coming out making infinite mana, getting these more goblins and getting more triggers off of Krenko. This deck synergy is through the roof, through the goblin roof. I give this deck a preemptive 420 out of 420 times 420. Goblin Fodder, 1 red. Put 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens on the battlefield. This is a good old 2-for-1. 1 card equals 2 tokens. Very efficient, very good for your deck. Basalt Monolith, 3. When Basalt Monolith doesn't untap during your untap step, you can tap it to add 3 to your mana pool and pay 3 to untap Basalt Monolith. So you got your infinite combo of untapping Basalt Monolith and adding 3 to your mana pool right there. That's your infinite combo. You just keep getting it untapped and you're just adding 3 to your mana pool and then triggering more untaps of the Basalt Monolith. One incredible card to have here with our goblins. They all praise the Basalt Monolith goblins. Goblin Recruiter, 1 red, summon Goblin. When Goblin Recruiter comes into play, search your library for any number of Goblin cards. Reveal those cards to all players. Shuffle your library, then put the cards on top of your library in any order. Wow. Any number of Goblins. Shuffle your library, put those cards on top. So then you just rig the rest of your draw so it's all Goblins. Conspicuous Snoop and this card go hand in hand like crazy. And this is such an old card. Look at that old card. And the Conspicuous Snoop is just looking at this like, he's going to put all the Goblins on top now and just play all the Goblin deck with the whole infinite mana. Goblin Lookout, 1 red. Sacrifice the Goblin. All Goblins get +2/+0 until the turn when you just tap this guy. You just have to tap him and all Goblins get a buff. What a crazy card for your Goblin deck. This deck just keeps getting better. Burn at the Stake. 2 red. Sorcery. As an additional cost to cast Burn at the Stake, tap any number of untapped creatures you control. Burn at the Stake deals damage to target creature or player equal to 3 times the number of creatures tapped this way. So you have 420 goblins untapped. Then you cast this. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the MTG 420 deck tech review of Krenko Mob Boss.
Nice.
We got a little late time. What's up, everybody? Dude, we got some Jumpstart packs to open during the review. It's time. This is now become a pack opening. Wow. All right. So 420 times 3 pretty much. That's what we're getting at. Now let's interrupt this with a pack opening. I select the pack in the middle.
This one?
Yep.
Or this one? They're both in the middle.
The first one that you touched.
Okay, I touched this one first. We're just gonna open. We're gonna look at the themes first.
Yeah. Get in
I
here.
gotta get it under here. Gotta extend my little arms. How do I open this pack? Why is it so solid? Most packs just rip open when you do that.
Krenko's command. It's 1 red. Put 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens on the battlefield. Devilish. So you got devilish thing all together. Alright. Fervor. 2 red. Creatures you control have haste. Just like that, your enchantment, your creatures you control, you have haste. This is the best card in the deck. Just an enchantment that is reliable. Doctor. You get doctor cards right there for the jump start. Crashing Drawbridge. What? Little Thorn of Drain action there. 2 mana. Tap. Defending creature. Creatures you control have haste. You got more haste in here for your goblins. Reanimated. Wow. What a deck.
Good
And
one.
the last card in Krenko, of course, is 1,000-Year Elixir 3. You may play the activated abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. This Krenko just loves this card. Angels. No goblins. Well, everybody, thank you so much for coming to our Goblin Krenko Commander deck tech review. We play this Krenko Commander on our channel, so keep watching our channel to see some Krenko action. Discarding.
Oh, that's the one I want. That's got tiny bones in it.
That's a tiny bones.
That's the fucking.
That's a legendary.
$50 legendary. At least in American dollars, is $50.
And we don't forget the lands. Fennekin Village.
Maybe it doesn't have tiny bones. What happened?
Smoldering Crater.
No, it doesn't have tiny bones. What is this? Why wouldn't tiny bones be in the discard one? I'm so confused.
Never forget the importance of the lands.
Reaver. Nixathed. Assassin's Strike. Well, that's a different one than I thought. What the heck is tiny bones in if he's not in discard?
One more pack to open.
Well, that's fucking.
And here we are, the final pack of the video. This emergency, just all of a sudden, jumpstart pack opening, deck tech review.
More
discarding. Maybe that one has tiny bones in it. Maybe it's rare for tiny bones to appear in the discarding.
Yeah, who knows? Let's open it again. See if we get the exact same cards, because I think that's how Jumpstart works. You just get the exact same cards.
Here's where we find out.
Themes.
Here's where we find out.
Oh, wow, it does have tiny bones. There's 2 different discard. Why does this one have tiny bones? I mean, that's great. I'm super happy about that. I want to make that guy into a commander.
Here's the next commander review. Tiny Bones Trinket Thief. 1 black legendary creature skeleton rogue. Whoa, at the beginning of each end step, if an opponent discarded a card this turn, you may draw on a card and lose 1 life. 4 black. Each opponent with no cards in hand loses 10 life. Is that a commander damage? Is that commander damage? Each opponent? Yeah, that's commander damage.
I don't know. It doesn't say tiny bones does damage.
Okay.
It just says each opponent. I think that's just loss of life.
Oh, that's just loss of life?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. That's why I'm not a judge. Okay, that's what's up, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to smoke some more weed and play some more Magic. MTG 427 Gaming.